What is up? This is 40XT here, Ross. You can obviously tell by the t-shirt, 40XT, if you can read it. And today we're going to be talking about the Nifty 50, the Canon EF lens, 50mm 1.8. And yeah, and we're going to have a little ramble about the 90D itself, but we're gonna have some fun. But yeah, let's just talk about the 90D first, and just my experience with it so far. I've loved it, to be honest. I don't regret choosing the 90D over the 60 or anything like that. I think it is a great camera. It is a professional camera as well. You know, it's kind of an entry-level professional camera for professionals, but it's not an entry-level camera if that makes any sense. It shoots 4K and now 23 frames a second and 30 frames a second, or 29 in the UK and 24 in the US. There's some kind of difference in this whole situation with the different countries and frames a second, etc. and etc. So my problem was when I turned on the camera, I knew you could shoot in 30 and 24, and mine was the polar opposite from what everyone was complaining about. Mine was it can only shoot in 24 frames a second, which is really 23 frames a second, and in no way can I find 30 frames a second. I mean, not complaining, but. And I came across a Facebook post, and yet again something to do with the American one, trying to get 24 frames a second, and it was to do something with NTSC settings. And I remember going through the settings and realised I was recording in PAL. So I've changed the NTSC settings, and right now I'm recording on 30 frames a second. So I'm going to obviously look to see how this looks, and we'll find out. Now, I've already recorded a small fraction of this vlog, but I forgot to turn the Comica mic on. So the Comica mic, for people who don't know, is like kind of a different mic. It's a competitor obviously to Rode, where the Rode Pro, this is the Comica Pro mic, where the Rode Pro mic sells at £282, where this mic I picked up for, well, I got for £54, but you can get it for £34. I just wanted the next day so I get some use out of it before I go back to work and all of that. So, halfway through or quarter way through, I realised, shit, I forgot to hit the turn on button, or the power button on the Comica mic, and I've had to restart. And this is the second time this has happened, and yeah, I can see a downfall in that, because I think the Rode Pro mic does have an auto power on function. Is that a reason to spend £282 extra on a mic just for that? I don't know. Maybe you could have like a sign on your Comica mic saying, remember to turn on, and then you won't look like a silent mime who is not being able to do any hand gestures and talk with the hands. Or if you guys can lip read, you know, that's fine, and you'll just have a mic not saving battery. There we go. Anyway, let's get on to the main subject of this vlog. And well, actually, just a counterpoint, I am in the conservatory. So I've got this desk here. So I don't know if you can see that there. I can't really bend this thing down. So I'm trying to set up this YouTube space in my relatively small house. So I figure I can make this kind of a studio kind of thing for when I want to kind of be off the computer and not just sit through there all the time, and actually utilise this space. And this is where I thought, yeah, I've got a desk here, I can put stuff on, I could set my tripod up, put the mic on there, and record myself here. And I'll probably be doing a lot more videos from this point of view. And a big shout out to the Comica mic, because this is enabling me to do this, because the built-in mic on the 90D is relatively good, but I believe to do these kind of vlog style formats you do need a a microphone, and kind of a shotgun microphone at that. And this could be too quiet as well, and this is why this is going to be the first vlog in a conservatory to see what we need to change. Whereas if I'd have to take the microphone off and put it down out of sight somewhere, maybe on a boom arm somewhere, I don't know. We'll find out. Anyway, the main subject of this is the Nifty 50. The Canon 1.8 Nifty 50. This is, it turned into, I think, 80mm lens on the Canon 90D because it's a crop sensor and you need to times everything by 1.6 or 1.8. It ends up being an 80mm, which is great for car photography apparently. We'll get onto that. But with this you get a large aperture. I think if it opens up to like 1.8, so if I go into the Q setting on aperture settings on this lens, which is the 18 to 135 lens, it will only let me get like a f5, I think maybe f4 there. This will open all the way up to f1.8. So that lets in a lot of light. It also means that lights in the background look circular and not the awful pentagony. I got that off a review, not a personal experience. This is my first Nifty 50. This is only my second lens for this camera, so I've got the 18 to 135 lens which came with the camera. I would highly recommend that over the 18 to 35mm lens. That is an option. I would spend an extra £300 more and get the 18 to 135 lens because it's going to give you more dynamic range for your photos. And face it, you know, it's not worth the 18 to 35 as a starter lens. Is not. I personally don't think is worth getting. Maybe pick it up in the future, but to get, if you're running on a budget, maybe it'd be better for you to get save up a wee bit more money and get the 18 to 35 lens, 18 to 135mm lens. Highly recommended. Anyway, this comes with, so it's an EF mount lens. You connect it to the 90D via this red dot here. I'm not sure if you can see that. There we go. That just clicks on. That just clicks on, and that's fine. You can see the front. This is what it looks like with the lens cover off. And the cool thing about it is it has got autofocus and manual focus. And when it's focusing, there's got the lens inside comes out. There's a plastic thing, it pops out. And I've heard a few people complaining that it stays out and they've had to push it down. If you turn your camera off, give it a couple of seconds, and then that little focus system will end up going back in. So you don't need to worry about that. I can't really show you because I only have one camera which I'm using. So yeah, one opens up to 1.8. Lovely pictures if you're doing portraits. I believe someone shot weddings with this. I believe someone shot a whole wedding with a 50mm lens because he dropped his 48mm out a train window or something. Autofocus, manual focus. This little dinky thing here is the manual focus. It's an all plastic build, but it doesn't feel like a really cheap plastic. The lens itself retails for about £100 on Canon website. I'm not sure what is in US dollars, etc, etc. But you need to be, I think it says 0.35mm to 1.1 foot. I'm not sure if that's the range that you can shoot in, so if you get really close to something that's still going to be in focus, I don't know. However, I think for a beginner photographer like myself, I'm going to, at the moment, I'm not going to buy any more lenses. I am purely going to stick with the 18 to 135mm lens and the Nifty 50. And that is purely because I'm getting stuff, I try to upload stuff to Shutterstock. And you can find that in my pictures in the link below to see what kind of more pictures I put up with the camera, and I believe I am getting a good amount approved. And just because I'm on a learning curve, it's not even just due to focus issues or sharpness issues or noise or whatever. It is that, oh, there's a, and you always kind of feel happy when you're not, it's not, the subject's out of focus. No, it is actually, there's a branding label, and an accidental branding label has been displayed, so we can't obviously do that. So I'm purely going to be learning, and that's what someone recommended to me on Michael's 90D Facebook page, is just stick with the one lens or get the Nifty 50 as well, and practice your getting the aperture right, your ISO right, and your shutter speed right, and learn how to take good pictures before upgrading lenses. Because there's no point to me there's no point in spending £3,000 on a lens and just to then lose it, like not get as good shots. So I'd rather spend maybe a year or 2 years just mastering these two lenses and then upgrading or adding another lens to this arsenal, where if I do see a good deal on the Canon website, I may buy a lens. Who knows? This is in the future though. This is but these are my two lenses for just now. I really like them. Love the Nifty 50. I love the 18 to 135mm lens by Canon as well. And if we go back to talking about the 90D for a second, it is people are who the 90D is for. And I think I said earlier, this is a professional camera. It is a professional camera, I believe. I've not heard someone say it's not a professional camera. On Canon's website, they don't have it under the professional Canon website, but they have the professional cameras around about 3-5 grand cameras, you know, 8 grand cameras. The DSLRs are mirrorless cameras. You know, that's the level they're going for. You can make money by shooting the 90D, and which therefore is good enough for me to say it's a professional camera. It's not an entry level camera at any sort. It is a very, very steep learning curve, because people who had the 6D and that before, 60, 80D and that, people like went with their old lenses, and there's the resolving power or something like that in the lenses isn't enough to cope with this new 32 megapixel camera now. So the learning curve goes from a wee bit just to just shooting right up. Now I wouldn't let that put you off. I mean, like myself, I've seen people say don't go for the 90D if you're a new photographer. But would you? And if that is a worry for you, what I would recommend doing from my point of view as a novice photographer, but I went for the 90D anyway. If you're not wanting to spend the money and get a 90D, I would honestly go for, I think it's the Canon 2000D or something like that, or Canon 200 or whatever, 200D. But it's a great well, it looks like a great camera. I think it's about £200-300. So I think one's £200, and then there's one it's like slightly more expensive for like maybe £300-400. I would consider heavily going for one of these, mastering your skills, sell it, and then put that money towards the 90D, or just put extra money towards the 90D. That's what I can recommend, or get the 90D and then this is your camera. And what's good about this is I'm coming in to this with no old lenses. So every lens I buy for the 90D is hopefully going to be one. I do the research and I get great shots from it. And that's kind of what I would like, what I want to do. So if you're upgrading from the like a 60 or 80D to this, and you have the old lenses, you have then spent, you're going to have to probably spend more money on pretty much the same lenses, but the newer versions, or something like that. So that's where I see a slight advantage from where I'm coming from, is a new Canon user, as well as I don't have any old lenses to put on this, so that's why I say I would have a slight advantage over this other people who have spent thousands of pounds on lenses. But that's kind of my 2 cents on that point of view. People could disagree with me and say, oh, it should just work, but it's a 32 megapixel camera. I mean, it's a lot of megapixels to cram into a crop sensor camera, and plus it does 4K without the crop. It's insane. The camera is fantastic, I think. But who knows, you know? Things are changing. Maybe Canon, and the Canon are apparently after this whole, is it R5R or whatever, R5 is just out on R6. After this all come down, they're going to release a firmware update or something like that to sort some of the focus issues. So they've not left the 90D behind just because the R5, the new R5 is out. And if I make a hell of a lot of money off photography, I will be buying the R5. But just now, it's me, this 90D, and you guys. It's I would expect a lot more content to be like this. I'm going to try and react to the in-betweeners. But the reason I have not posted an in-betweeners video at this precise moment is Club Code got copyright taken down. Someone reported it. Obviously someone from the studio or someone found my channel and filled out whatever the copyright procedure, and my channel has now got one of these nasty strikes. So that is why I think it may have been for the music in the video, so I may have to go. And I thought I had done that thing, you know, on YouTube's beta system where it says mute and then just mute the whole music and not the obviously back in audio for the actors' voices. So I will try and upload another in-betweeners video. The other in-betweeners episodes have not got taken down, thankfully, yet. So I think I'll get back to re-recording that soon. But that is why there's been a wee bit of a delay. And plus I've just got this camera and I'm obsessed with it. That's all I really have to say about that. I'm gonna what I'll do is I'll try and put some pictures at the end here just to show you the pictures, some of the pictures I've taken with the Nifty 50, and I'll just end it out by ending this whole vlog recording with the Nifty 50. 1 second. Right, well this is the Nifty 50 recording, and right away you can tell, well, I'm having to kind of duck down like this because the Nifty 50 itself is, you know, we're automatically at like 50mm, so I was recording at 80mm there, so you can see the difference. So it's a more zoomed in lens. However, on the crop sensor, as I said before, it is really an 80mm lens. This is why I have to be like this. Of the 7-bladed, because I think, yeah, that's another thing, is there's 7 blades and that's why I can afford to open up to like 1.8. But this here is the beast of the lens that I use mainly, as well as the Nifty 50, but this is the 80 to 135mm kit lens that comes with the camera. Get this lens with the camera. Do not get the 18 to 45 or whatever it is. 18 to 35. It's just a waste of money. Pick this lens up. Get the Nifty 50, and yes. Now I must say, yeah, thank you for checking out my channel. Please hit the subscribe button, hit the like button as well. Leave a comment. I reply to every comment I get, and I really enjoy hearing you guys' feedback. I've explained about the stuff about the in-betweeners, and that's been my kind of most popular series at this precise time, and it's gained me, I think, 10 subscribers in the last month or two. And one of my videos has hit 1.1k views. I know that doesn't sound like a lot, but from where I've been doing this for over 10 years, I believe, on YouTube, and kind of been stuck at the low levels, Well, that's not why I do it, to get the views and stuff. It's just nice that my content stuff is. I'm now trying to find a way and change my what I do. And I think this style of format, reviewing stuff and trying to utilise this space and do some product reviews. I'm quite into product photography just now. That's what I've been doing. Is kind of trying to do product. I need to be down here because the Nifty 50 is just that zoomed in. But yeah, expect more kind of videos from the conservatory. And maybe some reviews of stuff. But anyway, hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, leave a comment down below, and I'll see you in the next video.